Greetings and welcome to Kashmir University's weekly video magazine Quest. This week's Quest highlights. Professor Talat Ahmed delivers a special lecture on Earth System Sciences. IIRC Dehradun in collaboration with EMMRC organizes an e-course on remote sensing. And we are also showing you a short film. Now the details of these events with your host today, Muhammad Fahimul Islam. Vice-Chancellor University of Kashmir Professor Talat Ahmed delivered a special lecture on the major issues of the Earth System Sciences. The lecture was organized by the Department of Geography and Regional Development as a part of the 6-day ongoing seminar cum workshop. In his lecture, Professor Talat emphasized that not only students but youth in general should be made aware about the issues of earth sciences and how various climatic changes affect the environment around us.
Most of you will be directly or indirectly affected or related to such things. And you, being the teachers of the college, it is good to know the burning issues of earth sciences. And I have just picked two, but there are many. And we have to make the youngsters to know about the burning issues of the earth sciences and also see how we can help the Himalayan states, in particular Kashmir, who is also going to be part of such studies and the information that I am going to present.
Professor Talat said that due to several seismic and abduction gaps in the Himalayan region, the Jammu and Kashmir state has witnessed several devastating earthquakes in the past.
What we see is that you have earthquakes as much as 8.5 and you have people dying as low as 8. If you have good infrastructure, you go to Japan, you will have lots of earthquake, nobody dies.
Highlighting the role of the Himalayas in climate change, this is what Professor Talat said.
The major driver of climate change, as a geologist, I will say is plate tectonics, not these cars or industries. Okay, cars and industries are there locally. You have to have maximum control, whatever we can do to save the local environment. Okay, if I am asked to talk about that, I'll give a totally different picture. If I am asked about gaadiyan or industry, Kashmir mein khole, I'll say no, because you will have lots of problems.
Professor Talat, while delving on the relationship between the elevation of Earth's surface and climate, said that movement of tectonic plates cause subduction, which in turn causes volcanism. He said when volcanic eruption occurs, carbon dioxide is released in huge quantity that increases the temperature of the Earth.
We know that the major contribution of carbon dioxide and carbon doesn't come from these small cars or industry, but because of the huge volcanism, which is all the time happening, okay, all through the geological time. Okay, so we have CO2 input in the atmosphere. You have the movement of plate tectonics, plates. Okay, so something gets subducted, something opens up. When you open up, you have the lots of basalt volcanism. When you have the subduction, okay, you have the island arc. Again, having lots of volcanism. So you have a continuous chimney of sending carbon dioxide from the mantle to the atmosphere.
After the lecture, an interactive session between the Vice Chancellor and the teachers representing various colleges was also held. Later, Quest team talked to few experts, and this is what they had to say.
So the need of the hour was to chalk out our strengths in the form of the thrust areas. One of the thrust areas of this department is the applications of remote sensing, GIS and GPS, what is popularly known as the geospatial technologies.
I'm of the belief that this is one of the major technological breakthroughs that has taken place in the world of science of late, especially in the method of acquisition of information about our environment and natural resources. The department decided on this theme because this forms our major thrust area of research.
This was very good attempt that this department has done, and very timely, so that the teachers from different colleges also come, get benefited, and go back and talk to their students and teach them and develop such facilities at college level.
They said that the aim of the workshop is to create a broader understanding and awareness about the applications of remote sensing and how global positioning system has revolutionized the world in various areas.
See, this is one of the very important area of our sciences, GIS, GPS and remote sensing. And we were very lucky to have this in this department as part of the SAP program, because we want to see that this field develops in the valley as a whole. And then the government of India is very serious to have lots of activities related to GIS and GPS, okay, and GIS to take it to the level of even villages, okay, in terms of decision making. Okay, the information can be easily read, but to do that and to go along with the development that is expected out of these studies in the whole country, Kashmir should not lag behind. And for that, and for that we have to take it to the college level. Even in the next stage, we can do it even in school level, so that they should know the importance of this new area.
So far as the benefit of these technologies is concerned, the department has thought that they should not be confined only to the postgraduate department of geography only, but simultaneously the benefits must trickle down at the college and the intermediate level as well. So initiate a number of efforts towards the achievement of this goal. The department has initiated a series of initiatives. The present initiative of the organization of this 1 week seminar cum workshop was conducted for the application of remote sensing, GIS and GPS in resource management.
In addition to this, the department has another major program in the pipeline, in which the basic attempts have been already made. We are conducting a PG diploma in disaster management from the last year. And as for the Vice Chancellor's commitment, he has said that this course would be upgraded to a full-fledged post-graduation course in a couple of years' time. This is a need of the time, as we know we are already in a disaster-prone area, and this is highly required for our state.
Educational Multimedia Research Center, in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Dehradun, is conducting a 33-day e-course on Geo-Web Services, Technology and Applications. The classes of this e-course are held in the virtual classroom of the center. Coordinator and Senior Research Scientist of EMMRC, Dr. Salima Jan, while giving details about the e-course, said that it's being conducted in virtual mode through EduSat.
As part of our initiative in using education, ICT for education, EMMRC once again collaborated with Indian Institute of Remote Sensing for conducting an online course on remote sensing. In fact, for the last couple of years, we have been collaborating with IIRS Dehradun for conducting such course, and also with other agencies for conducting courses, online courses on different subjects. This, in fact, this is the 5th e-course, and this e-course is on Geo Web Services, Technology and Applications.
She said that only 40 students were selected for this particular course.
For this particular course, students of postgraduate students, graduate students of geoinformatics and other science and engineering students are eligible. But this time, this course being a little bit advanced one compared to the other course that we conducted during past years. So this course, so students from geoinformatics, mostly students from geoinformatics have joined this course. And around 40 students have joined. In fact, we don't have that much space in our virtual classroom. So our limit was also 40 students. So 40 students have registered for this course.
Dr. Salima said that after deliberations, classes for such courses were decided to be held from 4 p.m.
The classes are held at 4 p.m. every day in our virtual classroom, because since this is a course, online course, so we want to give some flexibility to the students. So the classes start at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5, then there is a interaction, because postgraduate students of geoinformatics, so that they don't miss their classes, so they can come at 4 and join the classes. In any case, if they miss the class, but they have to come, since this is an online course, but they have to come for the class because there is an interaction after the lecture. But since in any case, if they miss, they can come here and we provide them the DVDs or sometimes the recorded copies of that lecture, particular lecture which they will miss.
She said that once the 33-day e-course finishes, students will have to sit for examination to receive certificates.
This course is being run through EduSat. Each day from our EduSat in our virtual classroom, an expert from IIRS Dehradun, he delivers a lecture, and later on there is an interaction with the subject expert. And at the end of this course, there will be an exam, offline exam, which will be conducted at EMMRC Srinagar.
Already, EMMRC Srinagar has conducted 4 such courses in the past, which had longer duration than the present one.
Previously, we had 4 courses that we conducted with IIRS Dehradun, and those courses were 3-month duration because they were basic course on remote sensing. But this is a little bit advanced course on Geo Web Services, Technology, and this time they have the IIRS Dehradun themselves have conducted this course for 1 month only.
The e-course organized by IIRS Dehradun in collaboration with EMMRC is set to help professionals in the field of remote sensing and geoinformatics for natural resources. Dear viewers, it's been our endeavor to showcase the emerging talent of university. Quest is not just about bridging the gap between university and the society, but a platform for students to show their talent to the audience. Today, we are going to show you a short film made by the Mass Communication and Journalism students that was made during their video production workshop held at EMMRC.
I came to this strange world hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. Since I came here, felt the joy of fear, finding myself taking every step.
Johannes Gutenberg's printing press, 550 years ago, transformed society for centuries to come. The Bible was the first book to get printed. This invention of printing press made knowledge spread quickly, sparking the Renaissance. Libraries have functioned as an integral component in education system for centuries. For some, books serve as their nourishment, refresh their minds, and soothe their souls. Some even take pride in calling themselves bibliophiles. We are on the verge of information becoming available anywhere, anytime, of highly readable books that never go out of print.
The easy availability of the electronic gadgets and the revolution of ICT, more and more people are reading newspapers, they are reading news magazines, they are reading even books and journals on internet using their own computers, laptops, palm tops, and even now mobile phones.
This change that is going to bring about in society is every bit as fundamental as the change the printing press brought about 5 centuries ago.
We are heading towards paperless society. We have made some beginnings in this regard. Mostly we have seen that users, they prefer online journals, which is a step towards making this library paperless.
Now, everyone sticks online, much for their convenience and to their choice, as the whole globe is in the very front of them, just a click away.
Digital libraries play quite an important role in promoting free access to scientific literature, especially when the journals are costing so high. World over, the scientists thought, instead of giving away the copyright to the publishers and paying huge prices for subscription, they thought every institute should put the faculty and scientist publications on digital repositories.
The journals, the magazines are being left to stick on nooks and corners, much for improving the splendor of the libraries and reading rooms, while as the students are found busy in browsing online.
People prefer to have access to online resources rather than print books, because through online we get latest information, nascent ideas, we get whatever we want in a very short span of time.
Whether it's the e-book which you are reading on your Kindle, that small device which you use for simply, you turn over the book the same way as you are turning it over through a physical book. But that feel is getting a bit mechanized. There's the only difference that one says. But there are tremendous facilities.
You had to physically possess the materials and then offer them to users. So possession of material was, of course, important. But in the case of virtual libraries, it is not the possession, it is the access. Material may be anywhere in America, it may be in China, it may be anywhere in the world. You are getting access to it without physically possessing it.
To meet the demands of today's networked society, libraries are reinventing itself by evolving into an electronic chip to a growing collection of digital content.
We have started a project here whereby we digitize the collection, the books also. We are digitizing about 40 million pages which are lying in our library. We are digitizing them and that will be put on net.
A dire need of digitization of books, manuscripts, and rare books of literature is felt. A pile of books are waiting for their turn to get digitized and at the same time preserved.
I love that small device which will have 1 lakh books in front of me without occupying the space of even one book.
That's all we have for you in today's episode. You can always visit our website emmrckashmir.com for all the episodes of Quest. As always, you can send us your valuable suggestions and feedback at quest@emmrckashmir.com. While I say goodbye, here is this week's thought. Everything is very simple in war, but the simplest thing is difficult.